Hello and what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another cast, and this time around we went from NA to EU. It is Cloud9 versus Bears in the Kiev Major EU qualifiers. Bears was a direct invite, I believe, as well as Cloud9, and both these teams are strong. I would say that Cloud9 is a bit weaker at this point in time, as Bears had a good showing against Liquid, and Liquid looks like one of the most dominant teams in the scene right now, of course, winning the last major LAN at Star Ladder. Of course, Cloud9 not to be counted out, and
10 seconds to
kind of a big surprise here, is Bears actually did not ban out the Meepo. That's a hero that in the past month has been banned out by mostly all teams who played against Cloud9 because of their favoritism towards the hero. They will pick it first a lot of times, but I feel like that has stopped when they play the scrims, and I actually haven't watched recent Cloud9 games, so I don't know, but I'm assuming you can't just get away with that forever. At some point teams are going to figure you out, and I did see Liquid actually beat Cloud9, giving them their Meepo. I mean, they had a rough time doing so, but they were able to do it. I think that Bears is going to realize, alright, you can't just play Meeple forever, and they might have already stopped. And with the Ogre ban, that makes sense. That's just how Cloud9 plays. They always have that Ogre babysitting mid. It's never a 1v1 mid for them. I believe it is always Noya on that Ogre, helping out his buddy Baby Knight. And, I mean, no big surprise there with the Ogre ban and then the Lone Druid ban, one of the best heroes right now.
10 seconds to go.
As for the bans on the side of Cloud9 as well, Coddle, Slaughter. And so, for the bans, just standard. Took out some of the stronger heroes in the patch, but the heroes that get through are going to be picked up. Invoker picked up by Bears as well as Centaur. Very strong combination. Once Centaur gets that blink and the Sunstrikes come in, they pretty much can kill any hero with just those two. Centaur alone, if he catches a hero, especially like a support or something, yeah, they're dead for sure. It's a double-edged Sunstrike, provides so much damage, and it really opens up your map incredibly once that blink comes out from Centaur. The problem is getting there. You can get away with like a greedy off-lane / jungle Centaur. It works, but can get zoned out of lanes in some instances, but if he has a good lane, like, it is pretty much over, and that's why the Coddle is banned out, because Coddle pretty much can give any offlaner a pretty decent lane. The big idea behind that is Coddle is able to just push out the wave level 1, and that pretty much stops any aggression you could possibly do, because unless like both of your supports can just kill Coddle, he just pushes out that wave so fast and then just hides. And that's where he risks dying, right, at level 1. But like once your carry is stuck under tower with a creep wave, he can no longer join you unless he. In that case, you're fighting against 2 heroes and then an entire creep wave. And then if the other support like TPs or anything, you just feed first blood away, trying to dive too deep. And that's just how Coddle works. And it's no big surprise for why Cloud9 has banned it out here, and they get a Life Stealer as well as an Earth Spear. I did not mention that. A hero that not usually is picked in the first phase, but it really depends on which teams have that Earth Spirit player, of course. But Life Stealer has a fairly good matchup against Centaur in the laning stage. When it comes a bit later in the game, the Stampede can give Life Stealer a bit of a hard time, especially once like the Ags comes out, because he's no longer able to just like burst a hero right away, and that's kind of how he wants to play. He just wants to use his rage, do as much damage, or potentially even kill someone during the duration, and then getting himself back while his rage is on cooldown and then coming back in. Especially against an Invoker, he can't really afford to just man up all the time, as he will just get taken out by Invoker's spells.
10 seconds to go.
If he gets hit by like an EMP or something like that, that can be devastating for him, as he is
5 seconds.
A bit reliant on his mana. As for the bans from Bears, as we enter the second phase, it looks like Darkseer is going to be hit, while Cloud9 takes out Yapsur's Rubik. I've seen Adam play it for them as well, so I'm just going to take out Rubik in general. It gives a pretty good setup stun for the Centaur Hoof Stomp and even Sunstrike, and it's pretty scary. If at any point in time you can just get like lifted up into Hoof Stomp into Sunstrike, that's dead hero. So with the Rubik rotating in, with that instant lift,
Tires
instant
banned.
stun coming out, it can't even kill their lifestealer. Like we see the Rubik against like Juggernaut, if you get that lift off before the spin comes out, and they combo it correctly, that Jug can die before he can get his spin off. That's the power of the Sunstrike. Once the extra levels start adding up as well, it's a lot of extra damage. And Cloud9 now gonna ban out the Weaver as their second bandit here, and we're probably suspecting some type of aggro lane because of that. They see the Centaur already, and they probably predict that he's gonna receive help. And if he's gonna receive help, they want to take out a hero in the safe lane that can just not solo, but pretty much be self-sufficient. And not only that, Weaver is a pretty good counter to Lifestealer, as Lifestealer has a very hard time catching him with his Sakushi. His open moves does pretty much nothing, and of course he has that invis as well from the Sakushi, not only the move speed. So not only does he need to be able to catch up to him, he needs to get reveal as well. And as for Bears, though, they ban out the Sniper. It is kind of a Baby Knight classic, and they just don't want to deal with it. It does have a pretty decent matchup against Invoker, and just hard to deal with. You always need to like pick something that can catch him very well. Of course, they have the Centaur already for that, but in terms of high ground defense situations, I mean, Centaur is not going to help there. Like, I mean, the best heroes that can really
10 seconds to go.
Kill Sniper heroes that can just put him out of position, like Bat Rider or Pudge or something like that.
5 seconds.
I mean, even that's kind of a stretch. He's always that high ground siege or tower siege hero. And we see here they actually go for a Dazzle Elder Titan dual support combination. It's quite interesting. That's something that we haven't seen in a long time. Dazzle is kind of a support that's a bit popular right now, but Elder Titan we haven't seen at all.
10 seconds to go.
And that is a lot of minus armor because
5 seconds.
Keep in mind, Elder Titan removes all your natural armor, and then Dazzle continues to put you in the negatives with the weave, and even a couple points in like that negative armor will start adding up. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it's a lot of physical damage now coming out from Bears once they get you with that natural order as well as the weave. And what carry they're gonna pick to synergize with that here? I mean, ideally I want to pick something that has a decent matchup against Lifesteal. They have until last pick to decide. What comes to mind is like a Terror Blade with the Dazzle already in the pool. If I was Cloud9 here, I'd definitely last ban out the Terror Blade. And I'm surprised that Bears just didn't pick it. I guess Cloud9 still has ways to deal with Terror Blade here. They can pick something like a Tinker, I mean, Axe does well against Terror Blade, at least in the early game. Kind of falls off a bit later. Timber or something like that, but I'm surprised they just go for Dazzle, Elder Titan straight off the bat. If I was Cloud9, I would ban Terror Blade here for sure as their last ban. As for Bears, Cloud9 still needs a mid hero, so they're not revealing Baby Knight's hero quite yet. And
5 seconds.
What can it really be here? It's definitely some type of carry mid. Because they only have the Lifestealer at this point, and he's not going to be able to scale that great into the late game. It can be pretty devastating. The mid brood? The mid brood. I've seen that a couple of times in European servers, and it's actually pretty strong. And I don't know what inside information Bears has here, but to ban out the last pick mid brood
10 seconds to go.
Saying something, I guess. Is that what Cloud9 has resorted to?
5
no
seconds.
More Meepo. They just have mid brood now. The flavor of the month has switched from Meepo cheese to brood
5
cheese.
seconds.
We'll see, we'll see. But Cloud9 actually banned out Drow Ranger here. What in the world? There's no way that Bears just play Drow. They already have Axe Lifestealer against her. Actually, I'm so confused by Cloud9 right now. Like, first of all, Bears has banned Brood.
10 seconds.
Second of all, they just banned Drow last ban. When they have a Dazzle potentially set up for a
5
Terror.
seconds.
It's Dazzle Elder Titan Terror Blade. That's devastating. And I was about to say this, but
Radiant's
since
pick.
Sniper is banned, the next obvious pickup for them is probably like something like a Shadow Fiend. I was gonna say that when I was talking about the carry mid, but I didn't start to get to finish. But so they do end up going with a Shadow Fiend. I kind of expected that. But now Bears, I mean, fought a Terror Blade. I've seen it work
10
before,
seconds to go.
and it's pretty dope here. That's like 80% what they're
5
gonna pick
seconds.
right now, right? Other options in mind, I guess Jug is still in the pool if that's what they want. I mean, it's
Reserve
not too
time.
bad either. Maybe they don't want a melee core because there's an axe. I mean, Jug does okay, but he does pretty shitty against axe. Even Disruptor with that instant silence on him, then he can't get his spin off. Same thing with Air Spirit.
10 seconds to go.
Doesn't do too well against Shadow Fiend either.
5
It's
seconds.
probably not Jug.
Luna.
Luna. Alright. I said 80% Terrorblade, but I mean, they think otherwise. They're going to go for the Luna. I mean, she still doesn't do too well against Axe. I mean, has a way to deal with him in the early game at least. There's Terrorblade, I mean, doesn't have the greatest matchup against Axe. And even like Earth Spirit and Disruptor, the silence is pretty devastating until he gets his Manta. And maybe they feel like they just don't want to lose their early game that hard, because if they pick Terrorblade here, they will like be behind. You can say that safely. They're not going to like dominate the early game just because of the hero, but if they can just hold out, and they have the heroes to do so with Invoker, Elder Titan, and even Centaur, they're just fine. But I guess Luna is a good medium. They didn't necessarily want that Jug or that
10
Terrorblade,
seconds to
so you're
go.
gonna go with like a ranged hero instead. I mean, I didn't see them picking Drow there. Maybe
5
Cloud9
seconds.
knows something. Of course, these teams probably play each other, so they know more information. But I don't see how that fits, and that's just my personal opinion. But we're gonna get straight into the game. I'm really excited about Bears. A lot of their players are one of my favorites. I mean,
Better get
played
ready.
with Firo a couple of times when he was still playing a USC server. He's a cool guy. He carried me with an Invoker in a pretty insane game. Funny story is like he was on something, or I'm not so sure what he was on actually. He was like higher or something on life, or I actually don't know. But he was not communicating in words. He was just like mumbling like the entire game while he was playing Invoker, and he was carrying me. I'm not gonna complain. It was a sick Invoker performance from him. But anyway, 4F's like one of my favorite members from MVP, especially when he started streaming. This stream was pretty lit. Yapsor, Hot 4, Adam 343 playing the Dazzle. I mean, I'm not necessarily like a fan of Adam, or I didn't follow him too much, but of course,
30 seconds
as
to
a
go.
5-position support player, as a support player in general, you gotta support the other support, and I respect him, and I definitely like him as a player. I couldn't say that he's like one of my favorite players or anything like that, but I mean, it's hard to say that for a 5-position support that only has some recent success at TI6, as he did plays very well with his Fnatic squad. If I read about that, yeah, he had to be on Fnatic. Okay,
The game is on.
I was second guessing myself. Is he on Fnatic? Of course he's on Fnatic. We got a Vata, of course, on the Luna here. Good old German player who's relatively new to the scene at some point. He hasn't had the greatest success, and maybe he will finally find that with this team here, as they definitely show a lot of potential. Firo in the mid lane. Look at his build up. Straight for that brown boots, Midas into Ags. No messing around. He's going to receive some pressure from the Earth Spirit at this point in time as a roll comes through. It will hit onto him. He's going to send him a bunch of right clicks to zone him out. Give this Shadow Fiend a better laning stage. It's going to be annoying, but he does eat a Super Tango. As for the bot lane, it looks like it'll be entirely abandoned. Axe is going to start in the jungle. Probably go to lane eventually once he gets like level 3 or 4 or something like that. As for 4F, he is receiving help from Yapsor, so it's a dual lane up here. It's going to give some trouble to the Disruptor. He has to really watch himself. So if he gets caught out by Yapsor, he definitely does run the risk of dying. Not at level 1 though. Once he gets level 2 and his stomp up. Firo continuing to be harassed by the Shadow Fiend. And he's actually having a very rough time in the mid lane right now. Only 1 CS on him so far, and his team has to start to create space for him to help him catch up, as he's having a very rough time against Shadow Fiend with the Earth Spirit helping him out. And it's not like Firo can just get levels up and start raising the wave. He has to get his last hits entirely through right clicks, and because the Shadow Fiend has a good start, he will start out CSing pretty hard. But meanwhile, I missed a kill in top lane. I called it, but I wasn't looking. I was just looking at how bad a lane Firo was having. Should pay more attention to that. Ooh, whoops. But you know, just woke up a couple hours ago. I'm not too awake quite yet in my cast. Still gotta get better at these things, but they got a double kill in this top lane, and Fear actually got the first blitz. I actually watched the kill, guys. I actually watched the kill. Just not where the kill happened.
Ooh.
I was on my camera was on the person who got the kill with the Sunstrike. Thinking. Anyway, with that kill, that's gonna give him a lot more gold with First Blood for sure. He's not getting it from CS for sure at this point in time. He only has 2. And both 4F and Yaps are gonna shrine up together. They're gonna go back to lane, give this safe lane a hard time, but Noya still has the same idea. And this is Cloud9 style. They never 1v1 mid. And I think Bears realize this, but they're not gonna really commit anyone to help out Firo at this point in time. They're just focused on winning their other lanes. If anyone can come, it would be Dazzle, but if Dazzle left, Luna would be left alone with Axe, and that's not a great time. Dazzle does do okay against the Axe when he comes into the lane, and that's why he's chosen to jungle like this. And Noya, sitting mid. Still, Firo's like, alright, I'm off lane Invoker at this point, guys. I hope you better win these side lanes. And they are doing fairly well. Lifestealer is having a pretty rough time, pretty low in HP. And he needs to watch himself, as if he comes too close to the lane, he's going to need a hoof stomp, and Sunstrike can come in and he'll die if Firo can get the good angle off to make sure he doesn't hit the creeps. Roland is going to come into the mid lane once again, but won't hit onto Firo. He's going to be able to last hit a bit under his tower now. 6 CS, okay. Not too bad. If you look at the SF, 20 last hits, 18 denies. Alright, Firo's not having a good game at all. Look in the bot lane here. Dazzle's doing okay. Level 4 now, so in terms of getting his pulls off, getting his experience, he's done a pretty good job. He's gonna walk over here, try to like D-ward or something. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's kind of for Rune actually. And they try to get a kill onto Firo, but the raise will not hit, and I don't think it was enough either. With the Ghost Walk, he's gonna be able to get himself out of that. And now he has to shrine up. Let's have his boots now. Nice use of the backpack there. Make sure that he gets that extra regen. Top lane Lifestealer is still not doing that great. 16 CS onto him. You compare that to Luna, and she's doubling up. And this is not really the type of game that you want with a Lifestealer. And because they committed so much on giving the Invoker bad lane, they kind of sacrificed their Lifestealer a bit here. Forces Rage out with the Hoof Stomp, or the Echo Stomp coming out from the Elder Titan. Noya is still sitting mid, and Firo knows it. And I think he's done a pretty good job of playing the lane so far. He's not over extending himself, realizing that Noya is just gonna just sit mid, and he's just focused on not dying. He got that one kill, the First Blood with the Sunstrike, and he's just gonna be relying on his team right now. He can get that gold with Sunstrike. He's just gonna farm up jungle. Not even gonna walk up past the river here to try to last it in the high ground over here. Instead, he's just gonna walk to jungle, kill creep, not even kill it, just hurt the creeps a bit. Now as the wave comes back under his tower, he's going to start CSing once again using the Alacrity. Noya wrapping around, he's still sitting here, it's level 2 now. About to hit level 3, he'll have that extra duration on his Boulder Smash, and Fear just gotta watch out. Look how safe he's playing right now. They realize that if he dies here a lot, it's going to give his team a hard time. It's going to give a lot of experience away to the Earth Spirit, and as I say that, Hero finds himself another kill with the Sunstrike onto Ace, and that glimpse gonna bring 4F back, and that might have just sent him to death here, but no, he finds the kill before dying with the double edge. I mean, if he double edged there, he was probably gonna die for sure, but I mean, it's definitely worth it. He got the kill before dying. Noya is still only level 2, and he did commit a lot to shut down Firo with those Sunstrike kills. I mean, he's not doing that badly. He'll have his Midas shortly, and because of how SF really wants to play the game right now, he's just going to shove the wave in and not really deny that much anymore. It's going to allow Firo to last it under tower, and he does have the damage to do so with the Alacrity for sure. And he's going to have his Midas at relatively decent timing because of the 2 kills he's got from the Sunstrike. And that's just the power of Invoker. I mean, it doesn't matter if he just gets completely boned out in lane. Look at him. Has 18 CS. Compare that to the SF's 43. But if you look at the net worth, I mean, he is kind of behind with the 2 kills. He's not that 500 gold. It's not that big of a deal. If you just look at the CS difference, I mean, you should think it's a lot bigger, but because he's just played safe, not died, stayed in lane, not the experience, now he gets his kill onto Noya, rolling into the mid lane. The supports baited him there as well as, it was actually a support, it was Nagas, or Luna there, and now they're going to use the central ultimate to try to catch the Disruptor. They will land the hoof stop, but no! Luna, what are you doing? She's greedy, she's like, Firo, you don't need this kill, bro. Let me get it. He runs up with the illusions, just wakes up the Disruptor from the sleep, because I'm pretty sure he would be asleep long enough. Yeah, he would definitely be asleep long enough. Meanwhile, the Axe gets the kill on the Dazzle on the bot lane. Alright, no big deal here. Axe got a kill, who cares? On the mid lane, this is where the action is. They get the stop onto the SF, and if he goes down here, this is very big. Yapster actually gets the last hit with his stapler, or briefcase. Actually, I don't know what that is. Let's check it out. Oh, that's not the right thing. Hold up. Showcase view.
Dire's mid tower won't
It's
last
a
much
giant
longer.
party orb.
Dire went and fortified their
What is that?
structures.
It's a freaking giant ball on a stick.
Dire's mid
Interesting.
tower could use a little help.
And SF goes down here, and Firo has an 8-minute Midas. He has 26 CS. He was getting boned in lane by the SF, and now he has an 8-minute Midas. And that's just the power of Invoker. If he can play around his team can set up those Sunstrike kills for him. And if the enemy tries to gank him and his team responds once, that's enough for him to get back into the game, and now he's doing very well for himself, and I would say he's going to have a pretty fast Aghanim's. But as I say that, Axe with a Invision going to try to get this kill. He gets the call off onto Hero, and as I say, he was going to have a good game. He gets caught out by this Invision from Hester Joe, and will get taken out by Baby Knight. Finally, they kill this Invoker in the top lane. Lifestealer did take out Yapster, but I mean, not the biggest deal at this point. Ace does get a bit of extra gold from that. It's not really going to put Yapster back too much, as I believe he just entirely bought out. And he's pretty farm at this point with the Soul Ring and his Tranquils. He has pretty much everything he needs as he enters like this 10-minute mark in the game. Look at Noya, he's actually pretty underfarmed. Fada actually just rotated out of his lane, leaving Dazzle to farm it up, and he's actually level 7 and did a decent amount of chip damage to this tower. You see Ace go on to Centaur in the top lane, but he's just going to use his ultimate to get away. And now Fada going to pressure mid lane with Yapster kind of backing him up. The thing is, Lifesteal actually has a pretty decent matchup against the Elder Titan, because he can just rage off the Echo Stomp and not get hit by it, and just kind of go in for the kill onto Yapster, and then Yapster has really no way of escaping. So they do a lot of damage to the tower, but they'll back themselves away as they don't fully commit to it. Dazzle is actually just farming up in this bot lane. He has 29 CS. Alright. So some carry Dazzle action happening here in this bot lane. Compare that to the Earth Spirit, and he's only level 4. He's gonna go for a Solo Smoke, and Rise is only level 4 as well. He's going for a D-Ward, and I mean, they committed a lot to shutting down this Invoker, but he's not very shut down. As look at the net worth, and he's up there. Not the greatest after that one death, but they're gonna go for a gank down onto Yapster. Nice glimpse into kinetic field, and they will get another kill here onto our buddy Yappy. Hester Joe has his blink complete, and this is Cloud9's time, but ideally they want level 6 in both their supports. If their supports are level 6 or not, I would say they're really strong. This tome's going to help them out, but that's not going to give both their supports level 6, as both of them are just level 5 at this point. Forev going to have a blink for himself pretty shortly as well, so Bears can just meet Cloud9 head to head. This blink timing on the Axe. And the thing is, Dazzle is very farmed himself, level 8 now. He's going straight into that Solar Crest, and he's keeping it down in this bot wave. This is the dream Dazzle game here, guys. When your team is just winning the game by themselves. Like, this also could be game-losing Dazzle, you know, like when you're just not helping your team. But his team doesn't need him. He's just here. He's like, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm just farming the safe lane. I'm carry Dazzle now, building straight into that Solar Crest. He saw that Z-Freak game where Z-Freak was like insanely farmed on Dazzle. I think it was against. I forgot what team it was against actually, but I think it was GG. And Sunstrike coming through, and bye Hester Joe. All right, 4 revs blink paying off. Hester Joe really hasn't been able to get anything done with his blink, and Dazzle's gonna be like, oh cool. Axe comes into my lane, you're dead. And he's still gonna farm it up. He's gonna have a Solar Crest. He has it! Oh my god. Center ult gonna be used here just to jack the rune as well as go for the kill in this top lane. They will find the kill, but looks like Luna will end up going down. No, the sleep comes off. The rage was still on cooldown. And will they go in for this kill? They're probably not gonna go in for the kill. Luna's too low. Well played by Bears right now. They're just kind of out-gaming Cloud9. Cloud9 did a very good job of shutting down Invoker, but now Firo is not necessarily caught up, but on his way to being caught up, while Fada is a lot of farm on himself. Lifestealer didn't have the greatest laning stage. He's going to have a pretty late arm later. It's just going to come out now at the 12-minute mark. Usually you see it come out around 10, even earlier than that sometimes if the Lifestealer has complete free farm as well as some kills. And now the Solar Crest is going to be up on the Dazzle. I really like how they favored going for the Solar Crest, and that's going to give Lifestealer a pretty hard time. He can't really hit through the evasion, and it's going to give him a lot of extra armor as well as tank up, but I don't know what 4F is doing here. Runs into 4 heroes and gets himself taken out, chopped by the axe. Now Ace does have his armlet. Right, that's quite annoying for him because, as I said, he can't just rage off the Who Stomp, but if he just has to use it casually there because his spirit goes over him as he's farming, it's going to start hurting his mana a bit, but I'm sure they're going to have mana boots soon on either the Disruptor. I don't think he's going to go mana boots. Yeah, the Earth Spirit's just going to go for a straight blink this game. They get the call to Adam, but he's pretty tanky at level 10 now, and can't even kill him. And now he just gets the Solar Crest onto the axe and clicks him down. Carry Dazzle. He's like, who? Axe? You counter me? Hello? Axe? You chopped through my grave? I just don't even need to use it. I'm too tanky for you. I'm level 10, boy. And now they get the Hoof Stomp missed onto Rise, but they're still going to run him down with the Elder Titan. Nice kinetic field. Saving him there. He got cold snapped as well, but couldn't catch him before he got away. Now in the bot lane, we'll see the Grave come out onto Fada. He's going to be able to TP out after the Grave, and Yaps are in a bit of trouble here. He's completely out of mana. And he's being clicked down by Baby Knight, but the mischance from the Solar Crest. Oh my. This Dazzle is just so strong right now, level 11.
Dire's lost the top tower.
And this is the dream. This is the Dazzle's dream. Firo farming it up. He will have his Ags in probably 2 minutes. Svorev is actually not going for a intermediate item. No Vanguard or Hood or anything. He's going to just go for the Force Staff for some extra mobility against the Lifestealer. That's not going to help Firo out in terms of his Ags. He got caught out by that Infest gank from the Axe. Bye-bye Firo. It's going to delay his Ags by, I would say, even a minute. Yeah, about a minute. And Adam looks like he's going to be building into a mech afterwards. Just stack up on that armor against the Shadow Fiend and Lifestealer draft. He's going to shrine up with Yapsor. They were standing under a ward. And Cloud9 knows what's coming.
Looks like
they're just going to go for the bottom tower, deny, and probably just let him go. But now we see the Centaur ultimate used and committed for the Shadow Fiend. Eclipse comes out as well, but he just got bursted there from full HP to nothing in a matter of seconds. Firo gonna TP mid and has his Midas to use, and
do something about that bottom tower.
It's still a pretty good Aghanim's timing. He has another component here, and he'll have it around 17 something minutes. Lifestealer gonna TP out to the shrine to try to join this fight. The Axe gonna get taken out. Fada has no Eclipse, but he's gonna click down Noya. Oh my. The minus armor coming out, and this is actually so much minus armor. The natural order is starting to be leveled up now as well. Between the solar crest, the natural order, and the weave, I mean, these heroes just can't survive. Like, Lifestealer is gonna die. He has a raging and thinks he's Gucci, and he's just gonna get clicked down.
Dire just couldn't save that bottom tower.
It's not a good game now for Cloud9. Bears entirely took over the game. Pharaoh will have space to farm his Agnems now, and he's going to have it at 17 minutes, as I called. They lost that tier 2 bottom, and Bear's death push is so strong right now with this farm on the Dazzle. He's picked up mana boots for himself now to help sustain his mana, and Earth Spirit just level 6 at 17 minutes, and that's not where you want to see him be. And Rise is only level 7, and they're so weaker now. If you look at the experience difference between both teams, Bears had around a 6,000. If you look at net worth, it's approaching 10,000. Cloud9 just going to go for a all-in smoke play here. The Axe has a Vanguard. That's going to help him tank up a bit more, but if you see, like, I said about how the Lifestealer would melt in these fights, but if you see the Axe, he kind of goes in there. He's like, yeah, I'm strong. I got 40 armor. And he just gets bursted. That's pretty ridiculous. And they're smoked right now, looking for something. But Forev gonna get the jump first. Sunstrike gonna come out. Bye-bye, Earth Spirit. Probably bye-bye Axe as well. The Earth Spirit only hits on the Disruptor, and he's probably dead here. Bye-bye. The Axe gets taken out and be back by Pharaoh. And they're just gonna lose 3 from Ganker to Genki. It looks like Bear is going to walk straight into the Wash Pit. Luna gets some illusion move for herself to push out the lane as well. And the Luna Alacrity, she's hitting it like a truck. This raged Lifestealer gonna fall. Even though he is protected against the natural order, I believe. It doesn't go through the magic. Wait, no, it does go through magic. I'm stupid. I even said it before. I'm like, if he rages, he's gonna die. What was I thinking? Never mind. Ignore me. I am dumb. But anyway, yeah. With the natural order going through his rage, I mean, Luna Alacrity is just gonna kill Lifestealer, and he's under farm. As I said, he didn't have the greatest laning stage, and look at him, he's less farmed than the Centaur at this point. And with the Force Staff on the Centaur coming out, I believe it's already on the Courier. He's gonna go into an Aghanim next. The Dazzle has his Buckler flying out that's going to give his team extra armor. Like, not only do they have the armor mitigation, as Luna's a pretty high armor hero at this point in time, with 16. She doesn't have armor talent anymore. She used to, but I mean, I don't see her going at this game anyway. But they have the armor they need to kind of mitigate the presence of the Dark Lord from the Shadow Fiend. They just don't care about the physical damage, and the magical damage isn't really a big deal either because of how under-leveled the Earth Spirit and the Disruptor is. They don't last long enough in the fight to be a real threat. And Vada just pushing out the top lane, gets the tier 2 Echo Saber going to be completed onto the Lifestealer, and doesn't look like Bears are going to back here with this Helm of the Dom creep. Alpha Wolf and Team High Ground showing their dominance. They're going to pre-weave here, and oh my, look at Luna, she has so much armor. Almost 30 armor on her. Not almost 30, more than 30, 40 armor on her pretty much. And the Axe Call gonna miss. Forev goes in with the stomp with the Yules, actually gonna disrupt those Yules that I believe it is his own teammates' Yules. Yeah, it's Yapstors. What is going on? There's some Hurricane Hike slash Force Staff action. Puts Luna in a pretty bad spot, but fortunately for them, she has the Aegis. She's going to get slowed down a bit by that Echo Saber hit, and now the Open Wind's going to come out as well. They still have Grave to save her, so shouldn't be too worried about that. The Grave comes out kind of early. She's actually just going to TP out before that comes out as well. There's no way to cancel the TP to Magnetize, taking everybody down, but I don't think they have the catch anymore. They do have the roll on the Earth Spirit. He can go. He's going to try to hit the stun. It just will be juked and jiving. Forev actually going to come back in with that stun onto the Earth Spirit. Sunstrike going to come out and finish off the kill. And he's going to juke himself in the trees, even receiving that Grave to make sure it doesn't go down. He will TP himself out as well. Now Pharaoh gets caught out, but he's just going to go Ghost Walk. And Cloud9 find nothing off of that. And that started out pretty well for them as the Luna got Force Staff in a very bad position, but mean, at the end of the day, Shallow Grave stays live and they don't have the way to cancel it. I mean, they're only relying on the Glimpse and Axe was dead there. Earth Spirit, of course, has his Boulder Smash, but I don't think he was in position or it was on cooldown.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
And now they're just going to push out the mid lane. Last tier 2 of the game. Oh no, Earth Spirit got caught by the Elder Titan Stomp. He's just going to be Sunstrike down. It's a Hoof Stomp, but he'll just get away. No rage required, even though he didn't have to follow up after that. Last tier 2 of the game will fall. There's no more Aegis on Tafada, which is one thing. We'll see if they actually back it off here. They're just going to go for another high ground push. Actually, they're going to look for Ace here. He has a lot of stacks of Weave on himself, and he gets the Force Staff forward into Hoof Stomp, and he's going to go down before the Sunstrike even gets a chance to hit. And he didn't get his rage off there. Very quick play there from Forev. Faster than the Lifestealer can respond. Normally you don't see a Force Staff forward Hoof Stomp getting a catch onto Lifestealer while he has rage, but 4F made it work. He came from the right angle and Lifestealer was not expecting it one bit. And now they're going to walk top, secure that tier 3, and 4F once again with the nice Hoof Stomps onto the Shadow Fiend. Unfortunately it's not quite enough for them to finish off the kill. Now the Split Earth going to come through. It's not Split Earth, Earth Splitter. Split Earth is a less strike spell, and they're going to take their tier 3 and just back it off and hit the shrine. Play it a bit safe. They used their ultimate there, and they're just going to reset, not wanting to fight 5v5 on high ground. I mean, the shrines aren't up or anything, but it's still a bit of a risk. Not the biggest one, as they're pretty far ahead at this point in time, but they're just going to play it safe. No real reason to kind of ball out at this point in time. Fiero is level 17 now. It's not the highest level on his team. I'm pretty sure Luna, yeah, she's about the same level. He's not had the greatest game, considering he had a pretty rough early game. He's caught up fairly well. He has a blink for himself now. It's going to allow him to set up for some nice tornadoes. Either counter initiate or set up like fight. Look at Dazzle, he's farming into a mech and he has it in around 500 gold. Gapsaur has picked up a gem, he's gonna comb through and de-ward now. Looks like they want to just walk through, get some farm up, and then go for this bottom shrine. Completing their next set of items. Looks like the Invoker gonna go for a Lincoln Sphere, is pretty far away from it, while Centaur gonna go Ags, and he's about halfway there. Luna building just straight into a Scotty. She had BKB queued up before, but she's like, I don't need that. Let me just tank up a bit here. The Scotty is really strong against Lifestealer as well to kite him. And it's overall solid. While Cloud9 themselves are going to go for a smoke play, trying to like bait the Shadow Fiend a bit here. Maybe catch out some heroes going for him, but unfortunately for them, 4F has a Invision. He's going to be able to get a very nice stomp off once the smoke pops. Fiero is set up and they know what's going on. There's no way that the Shadow Fiend walks out this far unless something fishy is about to happen. And they're going to use the scan, and they actually scan out Bears, so they know where they're coming from, as Bears has smoked themselves as well. But Fiero is invis, keep that in mind. They get the Lucent Beam onto the Shadow Fiend. Luna is going to show herself. She's just baiting, but they actually get the jump onto the Elder Titan instead. But I mean, their Earth Spirit's already gone, their Shadow Fiend is gone. Gem is dropped. And will Rise get out here? Oh! He doesn't have a TP, so I'm pretty sure he's screwed. He's gonna do his best to go play hide and seek, but that's a full 5-man wipe for Bears, and GG's just been called. Pretty quick and easy game for Bears here. They didn't get their coddle. I mean, I don't think it mattered. They got Fiero's Invoker, and even though they're like, we're gonna give him Invoker, we're just gonna sit mid and mess up his game with our Shadow Fiend. Worked out for like the first 5 minutes or so. Then we got Sunstrike for first blood, got a couple other kills as well, and pretty much got back into the game quite easily. And big player in this game was this Dazzle as well as Centaur. Dazzle saved them multiple times in fights with Graves. I mean, more so in like the later part of the game. In the early game, he kind of was just that bait target, and because he was deceptively tanky, they went on Dazzle multiple times with the axe, and like free Dazzle kill, right? But they got those gangs turned around upon with the help of Forev, and then time after time they went for Dazzle, they couldn't kill him, and then they died. And then at some point you go, alright, if we can't kill Dazzle, what do we do? And they actually had no idea anymore. Bears got Roche, they took good fights, and after that, game was pretty much over. They just need to get more farm. They didn't really have the opportunity to close out the game quite yet, but because Cloud9 was feeling so pressured, they went for kind of like a Hail Mary play, and didn't work out for them at the end of the day. They killed 1 but lost 5, and they're just going to call it GG. Nice and clean victory here from Bears, and I'll see you guys in the next video, as I want to get these videos out as fast as possible. I'll get to the next game and see what game is live right now. And peace.